I would not lie to you and say that this was on purpose. I was aiming for something else. I guess why I would say that's why I say it's a missed shot, because I mean it's a great picture. It's better than if it was not missed. But yeah, that's the lesson to learn here is that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Photographer Profile. We're way out of San Diego. San Diego is in our rearview mirror. We're in freaking Africa with our next photographer here, Dhir. Hey, Dhir, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing these pictures. Just give the audience an introduction about yourself and your photography for those people watching.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Dhir Jakharia. I'm a wildlife photographer from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm of Indian origin, but I'm born and raised in Kenya. I started photography back in 2019. I'm studying right now, business administration, but it is my hope to make it full time. So I'm doing photography, part time right now. I'm just working on making it full time now.
Do you sell photos at like farmers markets or to people?
I mean, I do sell prints online,
Okay.
um, but the main thing that I do is host photo tours. I
Okay.
get people from like all over the world who want to come do a safari with me. These are photographers, by the way. So I just kind of guide them into taking the best wildlife pictures possible.
Kind of earning that business degree in real life with your
Yeah,
with your
yeah, I'm
photography
applying it.
tours.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you have any hobbies outside of photography and school that you enjoy?
Yeah, I love football. I mean, what you guys call soccer.
Okay.
It's always been my biggest passion, even before photography. That's actually what I wanted to do professionally. When I was 16, I just kind of became realistic with it. I was like, maybe it's not a profession for me, but I'll just continue playing just for fun. So yeah, football's always been my passion.
What position do you
I
play
play
usually?
mid and striker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's not keep people waiting. Everybody's excited to see some of these photos here. So let me go ahead and share the photo showcase real fast. 1 second. Okay, can you see that shot
Yes.
there? All right, yeah, just go ahead and tell us the story behind this image here.
Yeah, this shot was taken just this year. It's probably one of my best pictures of this year. It looks like a band cover, which is why it like I don't know. It's the positioning of the rhinos. Like there's one facing directly, and then the other one is on the left, and the other one is on the right. They're positioned so perfectly. It's almost as if I paid them. And yeah, this is a picture where it was shot in central Kenya, where I don't go to much often. I was actually on the ground and I was taking this picture. These
Oh,
rhinos,
wow.
they were getting like curious because eyesight is not very strong. They don't see you, but usually they can smell like the camera or me, and they just slowly like go towards you, and then they get curious and then start smelling you, and that's what the first rhino was doing. And I mean, obviously, it was safe. The car was right behind me. I was almost hanging outside the car, and yeah, this is how I got the shot.
These are wild rhinos,
Yes,
right?
yes, 100%. Yeah,
That's crazy to me. We have rhinos at the zoo here in San Diego, at the San Diego Zoo, but
yeah.
to be this like how close? What focal length did you shoot this shot at?
This is 24 millimeters. Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's super close.
very close. But I mean, I don't want to like say that this is typical rhino behavior, because rhinos, like especially in the southern Africa, like they're very wild and they're not used to people or cars, so they wouldn't be as calm as this compared to like these rhinos from this specific part of Kenya. They're very used to cars, they're kind of
Okay.
habituated, and they're much more calm. Obviously, I was under professional supervision. All things need to be first looked after before you can take such pictures.
I mean, this is one of the best rhino shots I've ever seen. Have you ever entered this in any contest or
I
anything
think I
like
have
that?
one or two.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Sorry, it broke
Uh,
up a little bit.
one or two competitions, but I plan to do like more. Yeah.
Did you win or?
There was one I got, I think, second prize. There was like a black and white awards thing.
You didn't touch them, right? Like you're not supposed
Oh.
to touch them or anything like
Yeah,
that.
we should never touch wild animals, like never.
Okay. That's, I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure. You never
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
right?
breakthroughs.
Okay. Let me stop sharing for a second. Before I share your next photo, what excites you to go out there and shoot, do all these photo tours? What really excites you to keep doing this all the time?
Um, yeah, that's a good question. Before I started like hosting people for photo tours, I mean, the most exciting thing was just to go out there and photograph. So this one location in Kenya, it's called the Maasai Mara. It's a world famous place. It's a heaven for photographers. So yeah, before I started doing these photo tours, just going out there, seeing what I can do, going on safari and just taking pictures in, under not so normal, light conditions and stuff like that. That was very exciting. After like 2 to 3 years, I became more selective of the photos because I went on safari so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, then after that, I think I found even more joy in hosting people. Just
Ah,
recently, I hosted someone who was coming to Africa for the first time ever. So, what a privilege that is.
yeah.
This was a lady from Germany, and I had another guy from Dubai. It's just inspiring teaching them and seeing that joy on the faces when they get that lion shot for the first time. That's just what keeps me going.
Would you say most of the people that you do tours for are from Europe or are they Americans? Where are most of the people from that come visit with you?
It's 50-50. Like there's some from Europe, there's some from US. Yeah, it's half half, I would say.
Well, if I ever go to Africa, I'll hit you up
Oh yeah,
for my personal tour.
100%.
Okay, let's take a look at your next photo. I'll get it ready here. Let me share. Oh, so screen sharing here. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Just go ahead and tell us about this shot here.
This is one of my favorite shots ever. This was taken 4 years ago when I was actually like beginning photography. This was shot in a park called Amboseli National Park, which is my favorite park. It's not the one that I mentioned earlier. This park is usually known for elephants and beautiful landscape. This in particular was shot at sunset. It was high above the horizon, but it was not that bright. We had this bloody red sun just coming down, and obviously the elephant below it. It was a silhouette, and then obviously on post processing, I just brightened the area around the elephant to make it look like this nice blue. So yeah, it was like a mixture of golden hour, but at the same time blue hour, which is what makes the shot so special.
It's very artistic. It's hard to do artistic shots in the wild, in nature. You did great, center composition here. Love. Was it Photoshop that you do most of your editing?
No, I actually don't
Yeah.
use Photoshop at all. I use Lightroom, all of my
A
pictures.
Lightroom. Okay.
Thank
Very
you.
moody picture.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let me stop sharing for a second here. Next question for you. What's the best piece of photography advice that you've received from a mentor or from people that you do the photo tours with? What's the best piece of photography advice that you've received out there?
Maybe I don't remember exactly who or what I was told, but something that I would give, and that's something that I've learned over the past few years and people have told me. And just a combination of this one quote that I made. It's just as like in life in photography, read the light and you'll get it right.
Read the light and you'll get it right. Okay.
Yes.
I need some explanation
Yeah, okay,
with
fine.
that one.
So light is going to be probably the most important kind of I would say raw material in any photograph. There is no
Hmm.
photograph without light. If you can understand light well, you can get good pictures. You're guaranteed almost. Light comes in all forms. It's the highlights, shadows, exposure, your settings, shutter speed, ISO, how to play with natural light, how to position yourself with the subject. So just that one word, light, it just covers like almost the entire photography. If you're beginning, if you can understand light first, you're gonna like accelerate so much faster.
Yeah, especially with animals, right? It's all about the angle that you're shooting at. If you shoot an animal in the wrong light, it's just like a blobless form. You can't see their
Yeah,
eyes, you can't see the color. I mean,
exactly. You have to be
you're
careful with the sun because that's the only source of light you're getting for, animals. So yeah, it's difficult to position because you can't tell them that, oh, hey lion, can you just move to the left? I'm not getting the right light here.
it's hard to get close enough to use a flash with animals unless you're super brave. You're not going to get a
Yeah, I mean
flash that close to a wild animal.
yeah, it's usually advised not to flash because it kind of like bothers them. Recently, I did some stuff in Malawi where we did a night safari and we were like spotlighting with a flashlight on the animal from behind. I got like a cool lion main picture, like a backlit picture, which was pretty
Ah,
cool.
let me get your next photo ready here. 1 second. Very playful picture too.
Yeah. People actually think this is a dog. Like from first glance, a lot of people online thought that this is a dog, but yeah, it's actually a lioness that was sleeping, and then when he wanted to get up, it was kind of stretching, and I aligned it with the sun. There was a burst of many pictures, and this was the one that was perfectly timed. This was shot just last month in Malawi, which was the first time I visited. It's like a country below Tanzania. I'm absolutely like in love with this place.
That's crazy. You got her paw lining up perfectly with the sun.
It's
What's the
like playing.
chances of that?
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty rare picture because, as you can see, like the foreground, it was almost very close to the ground. African sunsets, they go down pretty fast compared to
Mhm.
like the other countries. You have a very small window of getting the perfect shot. The sun's position was perfect with to align with the paw, like as if it's playing volleyball or something. Yeah, yeah, for sure the
No,
chances are.
no Photoshop involved here, right? No
Oh,
Photoshop,
100%.
nothing.
No, I don't use Photoshop at all. No,
That is pretty crazy. That is a
thank you.
super cool shot. I like that one a lot. Okay, before we look at your next picture, I'll throw another question at you.
Mm.
Um, what do you see as the future of photography, especially with AI and virtual reality? What do you see the future in like 10, 20 years? How do you think it'll change or will exist in the future?
I think photography will always exist because, people will always have that need for a real story and stuff like that. And I always look back at the times where, for example, before photography was introduced, there were painters who would paint portraits of people. I'm sure they would feel what we are feeling when AI has come back then when cameras were introduced. So I feel like we just
True.
have to adapt because painters still have a lot of value. I guess maybe it could be transitioning into the luxury market or something. There's some painters like now who are making a fortune, and yeah, I mean, maybe the same would be for photographers. Maybe there would be just a few select photographers who it's like a retro thing, like to buy a
that's
picture
that's
is,
good. I like that.
yeah, it's like a retro thing. So maybe that's how it's going to be like.
I think that's one of the best answers to that question I've heard on
Mhm.
this podcast.
Nice.
I like your frame of mind there.
Thank you.
That's a good one. Okay, let me get the next one ready here. We have a lot to get through, a decent amount. So okay, here we go. A
Yes.
beautiful moment here.
Yeah, beautiful moment indeed. This was shot actually back in 2020. This was my first Maasai Mara trip. That's the place where I visit the most. But yeah, this was funny story. It's not a couple. It's the actually two brothers. And
Oh
I mean,
wow.
they usually like do not stay with their partners only during mating, which is like probably lasts a week or something. But yeah, this is a group, a famous group called Tano Bora, which was the five brothers. These were just two of them. It's like cat behavior. If you know cats, before they get up, they usually dressing themselves, they lick each other, it's like cleaning themselves to get up. And this was what's happening. It happened to be a French kiss here.
I didn't know that brothers and sisters would do that to each other. I thought it was just
Yeah.
couples would be the ones that clean each other. That's interesting.
Yeah, for cheetahs, that's how it is. Like it's like part of a coalition. So these were two brothers.
Have you seen the cheetahs running at full speed
Yeah,
out there?
plenty. Yeah, many times. It's insane.
That has to be hard to capture. That has to take some quick reflexes to capture
Yeah,
that.
I've only got it like running, but I've never got it running and capturing. I mean, getting a lion, a gazelle or something. I've never got the hunt, but I've got on the chase.
Yeah. At the San Diego Wild Animal Park here,
Mm.
they have a exhibit called the Cheetah Run, where they have a cheetah that runs at full speed. And I tried to shoot that one time. That was extremely difficult to get that,
Yeah,
to
80
get that
miles an hour.
shot. Okay, let me get the next one ready. We have quite a bit. This is probably my second favorite one of yours, besides the featured one. The atmosphere here is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, this was shot in central Kenya, the same place where I got the rhino pictures. I was pretty far away, and I was so lucky enough to get this one rhino facing me, like exactly head on, because it's not easy to get one rhino on its own and it's facing you exactly. And the best part of this picture is the clouds. It was an insane day that day, and I
Wow.
was so lucky to be able to capture this.
So where's the rest? Are rhinos, they're not, are they solitary creatures, or where's the rest of the herd in this shot?
Maybe this one was a bachelor or it was kicked out, maybe it was too old, something like that, because they're not usually solitary, like they always hang out with a family.
That makes it even more crazy, this
Yeah,
shot, right? They're usually not solitary
yeah, it's
like
like such
this.
a minimal shot and just one rhino.
And it looks like it's about to like pour down rain. Did it pour down rain, or was there a crazy
Yes,
storm?
yes. I mean, it wasn't crazy rain, but it started drizzling that time. And yeah, the sky was just beautiful.
And what did you shoot the shot with? What focal length? What lens?
This was with a 7200.
Okay, 7200.
Yeah,
Nice. And you got it right in that little break between the crowds, or the
exactly.
clouds, and the ground. That is insane. I kind of want this for a print for my condo. It's pretty cool. I like
Yeah,
it
sure.
a lot. Good job on this
Thanks,
one.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Let's get another question for you before we look at the next one. You've taken all these photos. What do you want to happen to all these photos when you die, when you're no longer here? Have you ever thought about that? Your legacy, what you want to do with all these shots that you've taken?
That's quite interesting. I mean, we get so caught up in like trying to get better and trying to get the pictures out there. I've never really thought about that because of, I guess, social media, and I've printed some of my pictures. I think some of my pictures will probably stay on forever, I hope, especially
Mhm.
the ones in prints. I hope like I'll always be able to inspire, people. What I know that a lot of my pictures, they make people fall in love with African wildlife, and I hope that I'm able to do that, especially seeing how the world is going. African, not only African, just wildlife in general will become like more rare and rare. I hope those pictures that I hold, they're gonna like hold even more value in the future because of just the frequency of the animals.
Do you work with any conservation groups or anything like that?
I mean, When I sell my prints, I donate 15% of the proceeds to this is conservation partner called Sheldrick's Wildlife Trust.
Oh,
It's like a big
cool.
it's a big wildlife trust in Kenya, and the main operations is rescuing like orphaned elephants from different parts of Kenya, and they like adopt them and like take care of them, and then actually also release them into the wild after.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they do.
All right, let's take a look at your next one. 1 second. I don't know how we're going to top that previous picture, but we'll keep going. Here. Another black and white one. Very cool. The dust here.
He's called Greg. He's my favorite elephant ever. I was actually with him 2 days ago. Yeah, he's probably the world's most famous elephant, and particularly because of his tusk size, because he's one of the very few super tuskers left in the world, and
Oh,
also
interesting.
he's known for his extreme gentle nature. So um, many wildlife photographers know about him, and we always try and get pictures of him. And yeah, he's just so calm. Like this was also from the 2470. This was at 24 millimeters. I was very close. I mean,
Wow.
this time I was from the car, not on the ground. But yeah, this if you can see the dust, he was actually just you know spraying himself with dust, probably because it was a hot day. And yeah, I got it in the middle of all of that dust. This
It
guy
does
is my
look
favorite.
really friendly. I just want to like pet him or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's huge. Like I mentioned before, like we shouldn't ever touch these wild animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's awesome. Like you'll always feel safe around him.
Is he pretty solitary or he's with the group?
So this guy is 51 years old. He doesn't really hang out with his family, but he hangs out with like a bunch of other elephants who are almost as old as him. Then whenever he gets the chance, he would like spend some time with females, mate, and then come back to these guys.
All right, let's look at the next one. This is a very, very moody shot. Very cool.
Yes, so this one, just like the elephant and the sunset picture, similar blue hour. And it was blue. I just put a radial filter on the tree and just exposure up, and that's how it became like this very cool blue moody light. And I mean, apart from the colors, the chances of getting three giraffes at the same position, I mean, people wouldn't believe that this is not Photoshop. This I could show you the raw, and it's the positions of the giraffe exactly like this. Yeah, it was insane to get like this timing of a shot.
And their heads are like perfect, right? They're not like tilted or turned sideways or anything.
Yeah,
Their
it's like
heads are kind of like
perfect
perfect.
positioned and spaced out. Yeah, it's insane.
And you can a lot of times on these silhouette shots, the legs can sometimes get bundled together and look like a dark blob, but you manage to get the little space in
Yeah,
between their legs.
instead of like placing it higher, I wanted to place it low so that they can actually see the legs as well. And yeah, I actually named this picture Three Bodies, One Soul.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool name. I like that.
Yeah.
Looks like something that could be a logo for a tech company or a band or something. This would be good for a t-shirt. Yeah, this would be a good image to put on a t-shirt, actually. You should do that.
Yeah, true.
You can start selling t-shirts on your photo tours. There you go. Make some more money.
New idea. Let's go.
There you go. I get 5% though for giving you that
Okay.
idea.
You know,
Another question for you. I know we've seen some amazing photos so far, but what aspect of your photography do you feel like you still need to improve on, or you want to learn? What aspect of photography do you want to get better at?
yeah, that's a great question. I feel a lot of my pictures are portraits, very well planned, but when it comes to the pictures of extreme fast-paced action like a cheetah hunt or just crazy things like that that actually do happen when I'm there, I'm just kind of not able to capture it at the right time. I think you would say that the timing of these pictures is quite good, but there's also, I'm talking about other types of pictures like these hunts and those things that happen at like a split second where you cannot see that with your own eye. I feel like I'm working on improving those types of pictures because I feel I've done portraits very well. That's why I got I'm shooting with Sony A9 III, 120
Okay.
frames a second, 120 raw pictures a second. It's
Oh
insane.
my
So yeah,
God.
so that's what
So
I'm
you have the
shooting.
gear. You have the gear to do it,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, I just got it.
Just hold the shutter. Let it go. There you go. I guess that brings me to my next question is like, what is your dream shot? Do you want to get like a kill, like a leopard jumping in for a kill or something, or do you have a dream shot that you like to
My
get?
my dream shot is like insane. Like it's really a dream. Like if I get it, I'll probably retire. So um, it's a cheetah running towards a gazelle, hunting it,
Okay.
and it's got it, but it's above the horizon and the sun is behind it.
Oh wow, you're really shooting. You're really shooting for the stars here.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably retirement after
But you said you got a cheetah with a gazelle already, or no?
that. I've just gotten the cheetah alone running, but not with the gazelle.
Okay, not the gazelle.
Yeah.
That'll be a, that'll be a tough one. But they usually like what, jump for their neck to bring them down, or how do they
Yeah,
attack
I mean,
them usually?
the fact that it's happening at 80 miles an hour, like even you cannot see what's happening, and you have to be so fast with your camera. They usually try to get it from the back to make it fall down, and then to suffocate it, they get it from the neck, and then they hold it for a few
Okay,
seconds until it's dead. Then they start eating.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I believe in you. You can do it. I
Thank
believe.
you. Yeah.
I believe in you. Well, let's take a look at your next one. I think we have a couple left here. This is your quote unquote missed picture, which it didn't look missed to me, but maybe you can go into
I have a story
detail
for
on that.
it.
Yeah,
Still,
to most people, this does not look very missed, but yeah, go ahead, tell your story
yeah.
on this one.
So what I was trying to do with this picture, I was hanging out of the car and I could not see very well what I was shooting. I obviously couldn't see from the viewfinder and also from the screen. I was just blindly pressing the shutter. What I was trying to do here is get the sun just like in between the trunk and the first set of legs. And I did not realize that there was this blaze of grass in front of me. So I did not know where I was focusing. And the sun was like, obviously, I've underexposed severely here, but under normal circumstances, it was very bright. So I couldn't see anything. So I was just blindly shooting. And then when I took back my camera and then I saw the pictures, I was disappointed at first because that's not what I wanted. And when I came back home, I started importing the pictures. And then I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually better than what I would have gotten if it was aligned with the sun and without the grass. So yeah, it was a very cool perspective. I've never seen a picture where the focus is on the grass, but the main subject is something behind it and it's not in focus. But I would not lie to you and say that this was on purpose. I was aiming for something else. I guess why I would say that's why I say it's a missed shot because I mean it's a great picture. It's better than if it was not missed. But yeah, that's the lesson to learn here is that sometimes the wrong thing that you do in photography is actually the better thing.
Yeah, I mean, this photo is incredible. Like, I just imagine someone trying to mimic or try to recreate this photo. It's almost impossible, right? To get the sun in that same spot, the elephant with his trunk out, and the
Mhm.
grass in the foreground. It's going to be really hard. It'd be really impossible to replicate this picture. Sometimes the best shots are missed or accidental
Exactly. Yeah.
shots, But now everybody knows that you didn't plan it.
Yeah, I mean, at least there's a lesson to take from it, so it's fine.
I think I think that's all the shots. I only have one or two more questions for you. Do you have anything wild or crazy that you've seen out there, that's happened to you out there in Africa with all these animals around you?
The rhino experience, like getting so close with them, that's pretty wild. Getting close with the elephant Craig, I've been on foot with him as well. It's just those surreal experiences where you get to experience a one-on-one with an animal. It's so cool to see that. But yeah, usually in Kenya, especially because all of the wildlife is so used to vehicles and people, we don't really get, crazy encounters with animals. Not never had something
They're pretty
like that.
safe. They're pretty safe. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good for tourism, right? You don't
yeah.
want too many wild, crazy instances
Mhm.
happening where people get attacked and stuff like that. Do you have other people that do the photo tours with you, or are you kind of just a single operation
Yeah,
there?
I'm working on my own. Yeah, I handle all the logistics. So yeah, that's how the photo tours work. Like all of my clients are from outside of Kenya. A lot of people are kind of skittish about Africa, especially the first time travelers. My photo tours, it doesn't just include the safaris, it includes everything, accommodation in Nairobi, airport pickup. So I'm with them like through like A to Z.
That's great. You do the full experience
Yes,
and
the
full
whole,
full customization of the trip.
yeah.
And do you guys camp out there, or how close are you to where the animals are, in the accommodations?
How accommodation works in these parks is you can stay inside the park. Like there's a lot of lodges, and these lodges have different levels of luxury. So we
Oh,
usually go with the middle level,
okay.
because we're there many nights to make it also affordable, obviously. But yeah, I can also do custom whatever the client wants. Usually it's mid-range, like almost semi-luxurious. These are
Okay.
like luxury tents. Like it's like a glamping experience. Like you have a proper bed in the tent, and it's a big tent, and you have the washroom also inside, shower inside. Yeah, we usually stay inside. The place that I usually stay at, it's fenced, so there's no wild animals coming in. But yeah,
Coming in, that's good.
there are other places where like you have to be careful when walking around. You have to walk with a local security card. It's just a good
Gotcha.
experience.
I think that's all the pictures. What's the best way for people to contact you? Do you prefer Instagram, your website? How do you prefer people reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, the most preferred is Instagram because I'm very
Okay.
active there. I would respond. I always check my requests. I would always respond. Other than that, you can visit my website. It's dhirwildlife.com, or you can email me also, info@dhirwildlife.com. I also have a blog in case people want to read that. It's basically a blog just to inspire photographers with tips and tricks, mindset hacks, stuff like that. That's what I do.
That's cool. Well, any final things you want to say about Africa or your photography to the viewers?
No, not really. I mean, it's great to be a Kenyan who is showing his home wildlife to the rest of the world, because Africa's stories are usually told by foreigners, but there's people in Africa who are changing that narrative. We're telling our own stories, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm still not like originally African, but I would call myself Kenyan because I'm born here. But yeah, there's
Yeah.
other people out there who are really doing a great job to take it to a global level, and just coming from a small town or something.
Your photos will definitely inspire people. And like I said, whenever I want to hit up Africa, I'm going to reach out,
Yeah,
to reach
honestly,
out to you.
yeah.
I'll see if I could get half the great photos that you got. I'll do my best
Oh,
to
you will,
match
you will.
that.
Yeah.
But all right, sir. Well, yeah, have a great night. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining me. Just wait a second while the recording uploads here.